Hollywood Insiders is Barbershop, the next cut worth watching. It's been more than 10 years since our last appointment at Calvin's Barbershop. Calvin and his longtime crew are still there, but the shop has undergone some major changes. Most noticeably, our once male-dominated sanctuary is now co-ed. The ladies bring their own flavor. Drama and gossip to the shop, challenging the fellas at every turn. Despite the good times and camaraderie within the shop, the surrounding community has taken a turn for the worse, forcing Calvin and our crew to come together. The topic of discussion is racism against black people, which Roger disagrees with on the basis that the country has a black president, to which Rashad counters that Obama has done nothing when recent cases involving murdered black youths have been all over the media. Still, Roger insists that there has never been a better time to be a black person. Calvin has recently been talking to a smooth-talking businessman called One Stop JB Smooth about taking the barbershop business from the south side to the north side to avoid the dangers in the streets. Only Calvin's wife Jennifer Jasmine Lewis is aware of this, and she's only considering for Jalen's sake. A regular client, J. Rennell Gibbs, enters to be taken care of by Drya, but another man, Marquis Jamal Woolard, shows up. Clearly having beef with Jay, the two men nearly fight in the shop, until Calvin and Rashad intervene. Yalan and Kenny get in trouble at school after being involved in a fight with the gang from earlier that morning. Yalan is unharmed, but Kenny has a bruise under his eye. This pushes Calvin to consider putting his son in Catholic school, and also makes him trust Kenny even less, to the point where he confronts Rashad and tells him their sons shouldn't be hanging out so much. It gets more serious when Jennifer goes through her son's drawers and finds gang paraphernalia. With all the trouble going on in the neighborhood, Jimmy James Sean Patrick Thomas announces an enclosure with heavy police presence. The members of the shop band together to organize a forum that night with the community to set up a ceasefire, along with free haircuts to anyone that passes by. Outside the shop, Terry becomes suspicious of Drya for being flirty and close to Rashad. He offers to take Drya home one evening on his way to pick up his daughter. Drya invites Rashad up to her apartment to talk, but Rashad knows what's up. Even if she denies it being sexual, the barbershop gang sets up for Jay and Marquis to arrive at the same time, so they can get involved in the ceasefire. After a bit of tension and another near altercation, the men agree to the ceasefire out of respect for Calvin. Over the weekend, the ceasefire commences. Jared and Roger put the word out on Twitter for people to come to the barbershop. A large number of people show up, and things appear to be going smoothly. Rashad goes in the back to grab some items, and Drya goes to do the same. He apologizes for misinterpreting her motives from the other night. She forgives him and then tries to kiss him. Terry then shows up with J.D. Anthony Anderson, who now runs a food truck business, and heads into the back. She catches Rashad and Drya in the closet at the worst possible moment, leading her to believe they were hooking up. Terry storms out and Rashad follows to try and explain himself, but she won't have any of it, as the shop celebrates a day of peace. Officer Terrence Time and Kyle Durrett shows up to bring some bad news. Anthony was shot to death on his way home from the library. Devastated, Calvin gives up on the ceasefire. The tension leads to word about him moving the shop to the north side get out, which upsets Angie the most since Calvin kept it from her. Calvin goes to the bar, with Eddie joining him after. He tries to assure Calvin that although Anthony's death was a terrible loss, they still may have prevented even more lives from being taken. This inspires him to return to the shop and apologize, while also putting the ceasefire back on. Almost immediately, the shop gets a visit from Anthony Davis, which brings more attention to the shop. By that evening, the shop sees even more business, including media coverage, as well as becoming a trending topic on Twitter. JD brings his food truck along and racks up some nice business as well. Terry goes to the shop and sees Rashad. She apologizes for accusing him of adultery and they reconcile. Kenny runs into the shop and tells Calvin that Yolland is at the park ready for a gang initiation, which Kenny had previously backed out of. Calvin rushes to the park as we see Yolland approaching Yummy over the initiation. When Calvin gets there, the gang has left, but Yolland decided to stay behind. Without a word, he joins his father. In the morning, the ceasefire comes to an end and the shop celebrates. Everyone starts to go home. Bree and Jared walk together, and they admit having feelings for each other, and they set up dinner for the next night. Drea later visits Terry and apologizes for coming onto Rashad, stating that she feels that Terry has her life figured out while Drea doesn't. Terry forgives her. Yolland visits his dad at the shop and asks him to cut his hair for him. Calvin obliges and cuts off his dreads. The two reaffirm their love for each other, and then Calvin tells Yolland to sweep the floor. Calvin's closing words state that he still loves his city, and he never gave up on it since it never gave up on him. He and Yolland join Jennifer, along with Rashad, Terry, and the kids. During the closing credits, the shop gets an unexpected visit from President Obama Reggie Brown. Eddie volunteers to give the man a haircut after earlier, claiming to have cut his hair years ago. Visibly nervous, Eddie messes up and accidentally shaves a good part on the back of Obama's head. Calvin, Eddie, and the rest of the gang must work together to save their shop and their neighborhood from trigger-happy gang members that roam the streets. Director, Malcolm D. Lee. Writer, Kenya Barris, Tracy Oliver. Cast, Ice Cube as Calvin Palmer, Jr., Cedric the Entertainer as Eddie, Regina Hall as Angie, Anthony Anderson as J.D., Eve as Terry Jones, Nicki Minaj as Drea, J.B. Smoove as One Stop, Lamorne Morris as Jared, Sean Patrick Thomas as Jimmy James, Tyga as Yummy, Dion Cole as Dante, Common as Rashad, Margot Bingham as Bree Moo, Michael Rainey Jr. as Yolland Palmer, Troy Garrity as Isaac, Auntie Fee as Madia, Anthony Davis as himself, John DeScandis as Boy's mother, Reggie Brown as President Obama. Spoilers. If you're looking to laugh, this film will do just that, but it has a deeper message. There's a lot of unspoken truth in this film. Each character had their own point of view whenever they debated, and I think that was beautiful because it's not one-sided film. Like the scene where people was agreeing Obama hasn't done nothing for black people, and Ice Cube made it impossible to not take away something from this movie. I personally like the fact he focused on fatherhood and the pressure young black men is under living in a crime-filled neighborhood. I don't think people realize just how easy it is to lose black boys to the street life and having a father there could solve that in a lot of cases. What I took from this movie is we need more unity and more fathers. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Hollywood Insiders. We hope you enjoy the review of Barbershop. The next cut, we ask that you support the podcast by liking, sharing, subscribing. And we thank you for watching.